Hello, I'm Dr. Tina Ray and I'm an educational and child psychologist. Today I'm going to present to you my ninth Teens and Tweens session from my series of 20 sessions to promote wellbeing and good mental health. Today's focus in this ninth session is on positive psychology strategies. I hope you find it useful. So, what is positive psychology? It's basically the study of what makes us human beings strong and happy and how we can be our best selves. In my view, positive psychology is key to helping us to have good mental health and leading happier, more fulfilling and meaningful lives. It's not about being happy all the time, but it is about taking a shift and looking at what really works for us to make our mental health, our well-being better overall, and what works for others too. So it's identifying and drawing on the strengths. It's not about looking at what is wrong with us. Having a good life, a good, fulfilling, happy, meaningful life is really what all of us as human beings really want, in my view. Positive psychologist researchers have shown us, and there's lots of research around this, that volunteering, doing good for other people, helping other people, those random acts of kindness or planned acts of kindness, experiencing a sense of awe and beauty about the world and nature and our place within it, actually engaging in kindness towards others as well, really does help us to feel happier and to experience a greater sense of purpose on a daily basis. There are 10 keys to happier living that psychologists have identified. Positive psychologists consider that the first 5 focus on how we respond to the outside world, and the second 5 come from within us. So let's have a look at these with a bit more care and take some time to reflect. So key 1 is around giving. So doing things for other people generally will increase our happiness levels, our happiness quotient, because we're not just focusing on me all the time. Relating, so connecting with people. Human beings were meant to connect, were meant to have relationships and bond with others and feel a sense of connection with them. Exercising, taking care of our bodies and making sure that we really try to keep fit and we look after our well-being in that sense is really, really important. We know about the endorphin factors that exercise generates, those feel-good chemicals. Appreciating is a real key to happier living. So appreciating the beauty of the things around us, appreciating other people, appreciating other people's kindnesses, etc. So really noticing what is going well. Trying out, that's about really trying to keep learning new things, new stuff. So having a go at new things really does generate more happiness and more confidence. A sense of direction, that is a key that really I do think is vital. Having those goals to look forward to, planning out those small steps that we can take to achieve those ultimate goals. Resilience, this is when we try to find ways to bounce back, even when things have gone wrong and we have a tendency to get stressed by that. It's about actually bouncing back, learning from our mistakes, learning from the things that go wrong, and knowing that we can get up, brush ourselves down, and start again. Emotion, so taking a positive approach, not being overwhelmed by negative emotions, being able to challenge them very carefully and reframe them very gently. But over time, we can get better and better at that. Also, acceptance, really central, a really important key, accepting who I am, being comfortable with the person I am and valuing myself. And that's not about thinking I'm better than other people. It's generally just simply about saying, I'm okay, I'm an okay person, I'm someone of value in this world. Also, meaning, very important, that sense that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. So those 10 keys to happier living, I think it's important to stop and think about them. How do you use each of these keys? What do they mean to you? It might be worth making a list of ways that you give to others at this current point in time and ways in which you look after yourself, and check out that the balance is right there. Can you think of other things that you could do to give to others and to look after yourself. I'm just going to present you now some of the very simple gratitude tools from positive psychology, because this is something that I think really all of us can get much, much better at, and it really does make a difference to our overall well-being on a daily basis. These are very simple tools and they're not difficult to use. There's nothing very psychologically challenging here in my view, okay? Being grateful, however, is much, much more than just simply saying thank you to somebody. It's just about not taking things for granted, having a real sense of appreciation and thankfulness for life. Now, that can be hard at the moment for some of us because we're in the middle of this COVID pandemic, and many of us have felt stressed and frightened and anxious and overwhelmed at times. But taking that time to just stop, look out of the window, appreciate the beauty of those flowers, the stuff that you can see outside, taking time to appreciate the lovely relationships that we have with some of our friends and those that care for us. So being thankful that we're here, that we're able to do the things that we can do, I think is very, very important. People who are grateful, and we know this from positive psychology research, people who are grateful tend to be happier, healthier, and more fulfilled. And being grateful on a daily basis can help you deal with and manage stress more effectively. So having an attitude of gratitude is really, really vital, even on bad days. And for many of us, we'll have had lots of those during the last 12 to 18 months because of this pandemic, primarily, in my view. Even on a bad day, there are normally some things that we can feel good about. So taking time to be grateful is not about ignoring those bad things. You know, we know that they've happened, we can process them, we can work through them. But what being grateful does is it helps us to focus our attention more on the positives rather than just think about the negatives. That's quite a challenge for some of us, but it's one that I think we need to try and meet on a daily basis. Try this out. Try and focus on the good at the end of each day, okay? And see what a difference this makes to how you feel. So one of the things that I do on a daily basis, because I journal, I write this in my journal, I think of 3 good things from every single day at the end of the day, and I write those down. I also read them to myself before I go to sleep at night. So I'm ending my day on a positive note, and I'm feeling grateful for even those small things that just went well or that I appreciated, even if it's a phone call from a friend, even if it was an extra 10 minutes on a walk, even if it was just finishing a piece of work and feeling a bit proud of myself that I'd done that. I think it's important. So try and keep a 3 good things or a gratitude journal. Really, really useful strategy. A letter of thanks, really, really important. So it's not just about saying thank you, it's about showing it in a really more concrete way. And I think sometimes we've forgotten how to do this. We don't write so many letters. We might send a quick email or we might send a quick WhatsApp message to someone and say thanks. And that's lovely. Sometimes just sitting down and taking the time to write a personalized note or letter or card to someone that you love is really, really important. Telling them why you're grateful for them being in your life. Post that letter, post that card. Also, another key tool or key strategy that I consider really, really important from positive psychology is called savouring. What is it? Savouring is about recognizing and being grateful for something that happens to you, like loving the food that you're eating and thinking, this is delicious, it tastes really, really good. Or just being with friends and thinking, wow, I'm so glad I'm with you lot because actually we're having a really nice time. I'm really appreciating this. Think about the lovely garden you're walking through or the bit of nature that you're experiencing at that moment in time when you're outdoors. It's about basically appreciating the moment that you find yourself in. I think it might be helpful to make a list of the things that you do that you can savour and be grateful for each day. And you know, that is sometimes eating that breakfast bun in the morning. It is about being with your friends, some downtime. It is about playing with your dog or your cat or whatever your pet is. It's about those little moments where you really are just in the moment thinking, this is great. I'm really sensing that I feel grateful for this and I value it. Savouring builds our happiness. So really try to go for this one. So I hope that some of these strategies, very simple, very straightforward, are things that you might incorporate into your own toolbox of well-being. I'm a positive psychologist. I live and breathe this stuff. I actually do what it says on the tin. I do actually engage in these particular strategies on a daily basis, and it works for me. It may not work as well for you, but have a go. And then if it doesn't work, you can try something else. The idea here is that you bring together the things that work for you, that give yourselves a sense of meaning and purpose on a daily basis, but also increase your levels of happiness and well-being. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you'll join me in the next session.